All right, Kentucky's 2026 legislative session starts in early January, and lawmakers say they have a close eye on Fayette County Public Schools.
They've got some real problems, and they have some real confidence problems by the general public.
That's Senate President Robert Stivers, who says he is concerned about the district's actions.
The WKYT Investigate team has extensively covered budget deficits, questionable spending, and an attempt to increase property taxes. They are all things that lawmakers say they take issue with.
Tonight, WKYT's Samantha Valentino is asking them about their plans to address those issues as we look ahead to next year's legislative session.
Senate President Robert Stivers says it's one of the biggest issues state lawmakers will face this session.
The finances and the people who are handling the finances of our two biggest public school systems.
Jefferson and Fayette counties have each faced multi-million-dollar budget shortfalls. For Fayette County Public Schools, administrator spending has been criticized by parents and community members alike.
We know, as being responsible policymakers in this state, whether it is in our district or not in our district, we have to be aware of public education all through the state.
One lawmaker, Representative Vanessa Grossel, has already pledged to file legislation putting an end to taxpayer-funded lobbying for districts. It came after our reporting on Fayette County Public Schools' spending.
I have the bill ready to go and file. It's a matter of whipping those votes and seeing what we may be able to accomplish.
Representative Grossel says her bill is just one step toward getting district spending, quote, under control.
People deserve this transparency, and they need to know where the money is going.
And it's an issue Republicans and Democrats seem to agree on.
You had members of the school board, I think Amanda Ferguson and Monica Mundy, who would ask questions and would never have their questions answered, who had their emails ignored by the superintendent. So a lot of that comes down to a trust issue.
While Representative Adam Moore says the district needs to be more transparent, he fears some lawmakers are jumping the gun when it comes to taking action.
When you consider the eminent domain issues, whether or not it's going on with the budget being hidden in certain things, you had members of the school board, I think Amanda Ferguson and Monica Mundy, who would ask questions and would never have their questions answered, who had their emails ignored by the superintendent. So a lot of that comes down to a trust issue.
Auditor Allison Ball announced her special examination into the district over the summer. Her office says they expect to publicly release their findings in the spring. In Lexington, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.